Nigerian agriculture cannot be transformed by submission of memoranda at the center. It's trash. Federal government must take cocoa now as next of kin in economic revival. In fact, it will go beyond crude oil.
Cocoa farming is a big, lucrative, and a sustainable business.
In the 1960s, Nigeria was one of the most promising agricultural producers in the world. Between 1962 and 1968, export crops were the country's main foreign exchange earner. But its status as an agricultural powerhouse went down the tubes in the 1970s. Nigeria once produced 18% of global cocoa needs, second in the world in the 1960s. That figure has also plummeted. Cocoa wasn't the only agricultural produce on which Nigeria relied. The country also produced 65% of tomatoes in West Africa, but it is now the largest importer of tomato paste.
If we carry on the way we're going, importing, not only will Nigeria run bankrupt, we will endanger the future of all you young people. Because the way we're going, this country, like I said before, should have a foreign reserve of $200-300 billion now. We have about 30 billion. And if the CBN was to follow the demand, in exactly 5 months, the country will be bankrupt.
Corruption and inconsistent government policy played key parts in the neglect of the once vibrant sector. Time passed, many leaders emerged, some of whom have been blamed for dropping the ball. If blames were to be apportioned, there will be enough to go round. The low oil price is hurting economies globally, but in the case of Nigeria, it is beyond hurting. It is sinking the nation's economy. Foreign exchange is bruised and battered, and the naira has become its helpless casualty, almost amounting to a worthless poster bill. Cocoa was a top non-oil foreign exchange earner for Nigeria. Now the country is looking to boost the production of this cash crop it has once written off. It's looking to return to age once again as one of the ways to revive its shrinking economy. But that may not be as easy as it sounds, as the country has just recorded a 5% drop in the crop's production. But what does the current government plan to do differently to boost cocoa production? Our fact-finding mission takes us to 2 cocoa farms strategic to the Nigerian federal government initiative of achieving zero oil program in its drive to diversify.
The life of the cocoa plant, which is our focus now, begins right here. As we understand, the cocoa tree is not a plant you can just sow directly in the field. There is the need for it to be tended in the nursery. If you sow directly in the field, it will die, or the survival rate will be very low. You want to grow them in the nursery, raise them to a level where when they get to the field, they are able to adjust to the environment. As you can see, we have shade over us here. This is partial shade. It's not like the open field where the sun rays are very high. So they are protected from excessive solar radiation. They are protected from excessive downpour. They are protected from adverse winds. These are environmental effects that can damage the plant if planted directly in the field. They spend about 5 or 6 months in the nursery before we take them to the field. So normally, in deciding on what to distribute to farmers or what you want to plant as cocoa plants, you select among your best plants in the field, you collect the pod, you extract the beans from the pod, you pre-germinate them. We have a pre-germination chamber nearby. When they germinate, you transfer them into poly bags as we have here, and then you bring them in here. They spend like 5 months, 6 months here before they are taken to the field.
This thing starts from the plantation. Irrespective of what stage of the plantation, forest cover, weed, you first underbrush. You come and prune. Pruning is an annual event and it's a major event. Pruning has 3 major advantages. 1, when you prune, sunshine penetrates the floor of the plantation. Insects don't like light. You dislodge them. 2, aeration of the plantation. The whole place is filled of breathing space, lenticel, that can make the cocoa fruit. Number 3 things is that it removes humidity. When humidity is removed, lowered completely in that floor, that means black pod disease will be highly reduced. All these 3 effects reduces the use of chemical in our case.
In 2011, Crane released 8 new varieties. Crane TC1, 2, 3, up to 8. If we check the catalog, what has been reported about those beans are true, about those materials, they are true. They have good bean quality. We mean good chocolate flavor, good butter fat, good bean weight.
By the time you are grading, the usual 300 beans in our case is 370 to 390 grams, high side. That means the quality of the beans, the size, the content, the cotyledons, everything remains intact when it is fully fermented.
The fewer the number of pods, the better for the farmer. It means harvest labor is reduced. It means little effort, better returns on investment.
It reduces the cost of production, reduces the chemical use, the labor intensity, whatever. So those are the stage. Then you now use these good agricultural practices, pruning, removal of mistletoe, getting the floor clean, to produce good fruit.
There's been this worry as well about insecticides because humans are interested in cocoa, so are animals.
Yes.
So
that is what what brings about minimum residue level. Ours has no residue at all, so don't talk about minimum. Our technology excludes any residue, and it has been tested in over 6 laboratories all over the world. Yes, no residue.
There's no cocoa anywhere in the world that doesn't have residue. But globally, there is a maximum limit of residue that can be permitted. And the chemical substances that are usually chemical, the use of chemical again is always the last resort. You must have used all available means to mitigate against whatever you have, whether it's disease or pest. And it is if you have exhausted all available means and it's not really working that you consider chemical.
it's an off-season for cocoa harvest in Nigeria, and that explains why it's dead quiet around here. Of course, these cannot go off this tree for now. But if Nigeria will rely on this cash crop, what would happen in times like this?
It's a pity it's really off-season. We have also test run engaging the youth off-season in dry season cropping.
We have to push and keep pushing. Irrigation, because we cannot wait for the rains only. The rains come sometimes too little, too late, or when they come early enough, they may be too heavy and wash away the topsoil. So agriculture has to be an all-year-round venture, as it is in many other countries.
There is no off-season in cocoa. There is no much off-season in cocoa, depends on the area you buy. If you don't have here, other states will have. If this state doesn't have, other states will have. For now, scarcely you could get to some area, now you get a store that will have maybe a stack of 2 tons, 3 tons in their stocks. But because I buy in various areas, either in Ondo State, Edo State, all those areas, it come, so I venture there to get cocoa. So me, there is no time. I don't always get stock in my warehouse.
Do not get carried away with this imposing hills of Idore. Behind this beautiful natural landscape, there is a story of many cocoa farmers and others with higher stakes. Cocoa business is booming here, so when empty trucks make their way into this town, you see them live like this. The distribution chain is long and the farmers are at the bottom of it. The hard work of more than 5 million small-scale farmers who grow 90% of the world cocoa do not reflect positively on their lifestyles or livelihoods. Akigbulugbe Ayodele, a cocoa farmer, is our guide in Idore. He's one of those who receive only a shred of the world market price for cocoa beans because of local trading structures and the quality of the beans.
Ní ìlú Ìdọ̀rẹ̀ wa ń bí báyìí, ìgbà tí mo débí, bàbá mi iṣẹ́ oko náà ń ṣe. So bàtà ẹ̀ dé, wọ́n ti kú. So mo wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn. Mo bá wọn lẹ́nu ẹni. So mo wo system ta fi ń ṣe, mo gbọ́n àwọn kékeré tí wọ́n ti ń ṣe. Àjọ máa ń gbé kókó, ta máa ń gbìn, ta máa ń ṣe everything. So bọ́n mo lè débẹ̀ mo wá expert pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. So mo start bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe. Àmì àwọn farmer congress. A máa ṣe meeting lóko, wọn á kọ́ àwọn oògùn àwọn fún akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lè fi ṣiṣẹ́ lóko. A máa ń sanwó ẹ̀ fún wọn o. So wàá ṣe everything. A máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí lo àwọn ọkọ̀ wọn yẹn sínú oko wọn yẹn tó lè pa kòkòrò, tó yẹ kí kòkòrò develop. A máa ń ta àwọn kan wà. Àwọn táwa lóko báyìí. Àwọn kan wà brokers tí wọ́n á dọ́dọ̀ wa. Àwọn yẹn ló máa ń tọ́jú wa lóko. Wọ́n lè fún wa gbóògùn wá fún wa. Tá bá nídìí wọn á fún wa. So tá bá nídìí wọn á fún wa. But wọ́n máa ń fi èlé sórí ẹ̀ o. Bàtà wá ti ká òkú wa, tá bá nídìí kankan lọ́dọ̀ wọn máa fún wa, wọ́n máa wò wá, tá bá ká òkú tá bá nídìí owó wọn á fún wa, tá bá àwọn iléeṣẹ́ wa tó bá nídìí owó wọn á fún. So bá yẹn ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn, wọ́n máa supervise, wọ́n máa wò wá. So tá bá ti ká òkú yẹn, tá bá ṣe everything, ká òkú wa ṣe everything àti wọ́n á tà fún wọn. So àwọn ẹni tó máa kó lọ́sọ̀dọ̀ ọ̀gá wọn.
As the farmer said, the name given to those people they call brokers. The brokers are the intermediary between the farmers and the merchants. So the merchants are the people exporting.
The Nigerian agricultural sector is fraught with serious data problems. Available statistics are either outdated or inaccurate. The research unit head of the Cocoa Research Institute of Nigeria said there are many factors responsible for these, one of which is illicit trade activities and lack of regulations.
Because of this international politics that do emphasize the quality of cocoa from Ghana above cocoa from Nigeria, some of our middlemen, they used to pack Nigeria cocoa into Ghana jute, presenting it as if it's Ghana. But we are planning to adequately inform our government to legislate that there is going to be production of jute bag by Nigeria and it's going to be used by Nigeria farmers. So by that time, all this strong impression, because by the time you see Nigeria produce being packed in Ghana's jute bags, you would think the product is from Ghana, whereas it's from Nigeria. And we are advising the government to tighten our borders, because they used to carry our farm produce through all these shortcuts, not passing through the normal borders, taking it to our neighboring country and pack it as part of their farm produce.
We've had instances where some farmers, not many, some farmers just refuse to adopt the government-approved chemicals. And in a case where you see some individual use banned substances, it will definitely be there in the bins. That's one. And then two, I was told by a colleague who went out of the country and he interviewed these guys at Mars Chocolate company, why the preference of Ivory Coast cocoa to our cocoa in Nigeria. And they told him, they said, we know Nigerian farmers are honest, but there is the problem of middlemen. You know what the middlemen do? They scoop, they collect from the farmers. So the farmer doesn't have access to the export facility.
So by
the middleman collects it from the farmer, he adulterates. You understand? Thereby increasing the weight.
Ghana hovers around 900,000 metric tons per year. Ivory Coast produces more than 1.5 million metric tons, while Nigeria stays within a paltry 200,000 metric tons. Nigeria may lag behind in terms of quantities churning out at the moment, but Ondo State government says it had a premium quality that beats the product of the biggest producers.
We have changed the quality of our beans from the terrible, poor quality, slaty line, germinated line, whatever is the violation, to the world's #1 premium beans, which have been sent as samples to about 8 or 9 countries in Europe, America, and all of them gave the same ovation of acceptance. But majority of them wonder why this is from Nigeria. They can't believe. These premium beans we have tagged X premium from Ondo State. Venezuelan cocoa in America is the best cocoa they used to embrace. They have told us we are 20% better off Venezuelan cocoa. And they've agreed that we can take off from a price of €8 per kilo. Central Bank Euro line gives us 1.8 million naira per ton. This means Ondo State cocoa X premium is not under International Cocoa Organization, where the current price is about 625. This is just a little bit above the cost of production of 1 ton of premium cocoa, which requires a lot of scientific approach, maternity sort of attention until they become premium. And I bet you the premium now is what is vogue all over the world. They have banned cocoa mass from Europe, Asia, and America. They have also banned the largest chocolatier. It's on news. That's Mars Chocolate, from producing cocoa with cocoa mass. That means they want full beans premium cocoa for chocolate production all over the world.
When we talk about quality, desirable characters, breeding is always with an objective. Are we interested in high yield, or we're interested in early maturing materials? In not far from now, Nigeria's cocoa output can be increased in many folds, so that we can even overtake the likes of even Ghana, that is the second largest producer in the world.
One of the problems of research institutes in Nigeria is finance. And you see, there are a lot of problems. One, when the budget is being prepared, the agriculture generally is not seen as an area that government should pump money. Even when they budget a particular percentage, there's this problem of not releasing at the right time, and the problem of not releasing up to what they budgeted for.
The major constraint here is funding. These projects have dropped over $500 million. Constraints in maintaining your labor wages, constraints in maintaining your vehicles, fuel and equipment, whatever, constraint in actually paying for cost of processing. Because to get premium beans is like fast processing.
We are begging on the government to legislate that all those people that are benefiting from cocoa, we have the entrepreneurs, those people that are buying from farmer and as they are exporting, they are making money. There should be a return that will come to research. That's what they do in an advanced country.
Our findings have shown that with adequate funding, proper regulations and investment in research, Nigeria has the capacity to scale up production and rival the biggest producers of quality cocoa beans either for export or local use. With the falling oil price and a weak economy, it doesn't seem like the country is left with any choice than to nurture its renewed interest in agriculture and show a reasonable level of commitment to the sector.